For millennia, the coyote has laid claim to the central west of North America. In the mid-19th century, coyotes began expanding their territory east. And by 1980, they could be found in nearly every corner of the continent. They are predators, and they are masters of their craft. They are creatures of opportunity, exploiting the vulnerable, preying on the weak, terrorizing livestock, killing thousands of them each year, costing farmers over $60 million in losses. One team of predator hunters are determined to make a difference, one coyote at a time. And for Songdog Mafia, it's more than a hunt. It's the job.
Songdog Mafia is a predator hunting group. We take care of coyotes, bobcats, foxes, coons. If it's a predator, we take care of it. We're like to control them for the farmers and people that's their livelihood.
We get calls constantly. Farmers, people who live in the country who have had problems with coyotes or other predators saying, hey guys, can you please come out here and help us out?
In the spring, when there's calving going on, coyotes are hard on calves. And if you think about the fact that a calf is the income for that farmer for that year, you know, one calf, you know, depending on the market, you know, it'd be $1,000 bill whenever it gets older. If you're losing that, you know, a couple of those a year, you know, that's the difference between a farm payment.
Most of my neighbors have livestock farms. They raise chickens, they raise turkeys, cows, lambs, sheep, goats. I mean, they raise everything. So I feel like I'm doing a neighborly job to help these people out.
You know, a lot of times when we go out to do a hunt, it really is a job. We've been called, we've been asked, we've been told to come out and do it. So we try to go out there and do that job the best we can.
I do look at it as a job, you know. It's important to me, and it's important to the landowners that are allowing me to hunt on the property. So I take it seriously. It is like a job.
I like to help people out, and it's something I really love to do, something I have a passion for. So it works out best for us and the farmers.
How y'all doing?
Nice, man. Where you at?
A little chilly today.
It is. Ready to do this?
Let's go do it. We got a little drive, so we need to get that way because we're going to have a little drive there and a little drive to meet Paul.
Okay.
You know, really, before I got with Songdog, most of my predator hunting I did on my own. You know, it was usually just me or a buddy of mine who had never done it before. So it's nice to hunt with experienced guys and see how they do things, and I think we all learn from each other.
Jason Haney, he's just a little feller. I think from now on, we're just going to have him hold up all the coyotes. Make them all look a lot bigger.
Good morning, good evening, good night,
What's going on,
guys.
man?
How are you?
Doing all right?
Yeah, doing good. For me, I'm hunting a predator. I'm not hunting prey. I'm hunting an animal that sees better, hears better, smells better than any other prey animal out there. And he lives by those senses. For me, to outsmart him at his own game in itself is a rush for me.
But you know, we met, what, almost 2 years ago?
Yeah, it's been about 2 years.
Yeah, we met 2 years ago and hunted together and had a good time, had a lot of success. And it's fun to have you guys on the team. It's fun to have the camaraderie and get out and have some fun and laugh and razz each other and the adrenaline. And it's fun to do it as a group. That's why we're called the Mafia. We're a group of guys executing these jobs.
This segment of the job is brought to you by Icotech, dead serious game calls.
We're going to a familiar spot where we laid a nice one down last year with Jason and Paul. We're going to go sit in the same spot, but the conditions are a little foggy this morning. Sometimes that's worked out really good for us in coyote hunting.
An old business partner of mine actually owns the farm. You know, he and I were chatting one day and he said, hey, we've got a great couple of farms over there that nobody hunts any predators on. You ought to go over and check it out. There's a long drive that goes up a big hill, and we can park on the backside of that hill, just walk up and over the hill, past the barn.
When you get up there, I mean, you can see for miles and miles in all directions, but all around it is strip pits where they used to strip mine coal.
We're surrounded by a huge field bordered by pit ground, some very thick timber, and you can really sneak in there. If you get the right wind in your face, nothing's gonna smell you.
Jason set the call up a little bit farther away than we usually do, but we were trying to work that crosswind scenario.
We got Jason Haney to my right, so he can watch the downwind side in case the coyote tries to circle around downwind. I've got the call about 125 yards. I'm trying to get that coyote to feel comfortable to come in between us and the call.
Ready? Yep.
Well, we started out like we normally do with some howls. We started out with the JD Howl on the Aquatech GC 500. Went into a couple, 3 different prey distresses with rabbit and bird.
And we were probably a good 12, 13 minutes into the stand, I think.
After about 15 minutes, I kind of lose interest. You know, I'm ready to get up and move.
We're about ready to give this stand up. We turned over to a brand new sound that we just started using. We'd never used before. It was Tony Tebby Den Raid. And it wasn't long. We had a big old male barreling across the field.
I see it.
This segment of the job is brought to you by Reese Outdoors. When only the best will do. Custom predator calls made in the USA.
All I heard was Jason said, I got one coming in fast. And we didn't have a whole lot of time to react. The cameraman didn't hardly have time to get over on him. And this coyote locked up. We knew he had to take that shot right away, and it all happened really fast.
Got him on film.
All I heard was coyote, and I grabbed the camera and tried to get on it. It was one of my first times filming too, so it was a little rough, but we managed to get her on film, so.
Good job, buddy. Thanks, man. It's a good shot. Man, that coyote was hauling it, wasn't he? He was moving.
Well, it seemed he'd come from there.
Yeah.
I think he was closer to us, and he was kind of circling around.
Yeah. Well, the way we got it set up too, Jace, is we got the call straight out in front of us, winds in our face. And we did that intentionally so that they would come. I mean, well, that's the way we planned it. Yeah. We planned for them to come right in between. We had the call straight out, wind's blowing this way, and he come right down through there. No sooner than we switched over to a brand new sound that we got, that sucker was hauling, and Jason's like, here it is, right here. And that thing had the burners on, didn't it? I mean, it was moving, had the afterburners on.
I had to swing over to get on it. You saw me stop, so we had to take a quick shot.
I had to take a quick shot, but I think Paul said he got it on film, so.
Just barely.
Jason, let's go get your coyote, bud.
I'll tell you what, guys, this is a big dog. If you guys will remember from our first video last year, well, it was a big dog then too. Some big coyotes out here on this farm. I don't think he's really young. I don't know, Paul, how old do you think he is?
I'd say he's 2 or 3 years old.
Definitely ain't a pup. It definitely doesn't feel like a pup when you're carrying him uphill.
I think there's just some big genetics out here, because it's a big dog.
What do you think he weighs?
I'd say 40. I'm guessing.
That's what I was guessing. 38 to 40.
He's hefty.
Well fed. He's a well fed dog, that's for sure.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
What'd you feed him?
I fed him a little bit of horn a day ballistic tip.
He had a Hornady treat.
He had a horn a day breakfast. Goner.
This segment of the job is brought to you by Predator Hunter Outdoors. Keep hunting after the sun goes down.
I don't think we set up right last year. I think we should have went down there,
Let's go down there.
because that's where we killed those two, or killed one and called the other
Let's
one.
go down there.
We've been hunting all day long. We had success right away with that big male and put him in the back of the truck, and then it kind of just got slow. But we just kept pushing through. That's what you got to do. You just got to keep pushing through. The conditions were good.
Hey, Jason, where you going?
I think I'm gonna go back and hit the spot again.
Uh-huh.
Felt good.
Right.
Might have left it. I might have left the seat up there or something.
You might have?
Might have.
Oh, okay.
We've missed out on probably 3 extra stands because he keeps forgetting stuff.
If you stewie something, it usually means that you forgot it.
I don't know how much time we spent on looking for Jason's things he's lost in the woods or forgot or left in the truck.
Stuart has a serious problem with remembering things.
Paul, show him how far down there that is.
Had to go back to the stand and get it. There was something every time. Right up there, he left his seat.
In the mud. And yesterday, he forgot the remote to the call. I don't know what to do with him.
The next hunt, we were trying to figure out the wind. The wind had kind of food barred us on a spot that we wanted to go to, that we killed the bobcat the year before.
The way this land is set up, it's cut crop fields, and there's only just one little patch of timber out in the middle of nowhere. So, these guys said, this is where we normally go for them, because if they're going to be somewhere in the middle of the day, they're going to be in this timber. So,
In the 2 weeks prior to us hunting that day, I had probably been out driving that area 3 to 4 times and had seen coyotes coming and going from this little patch, this little brushy patch that actually ran down behind the farmer's house.
we started out with some rabbit distress. We didn't want to get too aggressive.
And I don't think the call had been on maybe a minute, maybe 2. Let me get on it.
Here we go again, Tony Tebby, Cottontail Candy, brand new sound once again, and next thing we know, it happened fast, and we had a dog right in front of us.
And that coyote had no idea we were there.
All right, Paul, I'm on it. I'm on it, Paul. Jason, can you take him? I can. Ready? Yeah. He's good. He's good. He's good. Get him off the He starts that nervous. I'm gonna take him. Ready? Yeah.
This segment of the job is brought to you by Tony Tebby's Signature Sounds, second to none.
Always feels good to get fur on the ground. You know, I drop this coyote, I can see it fur down, and you know, we go into some different distress sounds, and Paul automatically goes to his hand calls, does some pup distress, and then we turn on the Icotech pup distress. And
lo and behold, right behind the old female, here comes the big male. He pops out. I rushed my shot and shot right over the top of him.
Paul tried to make the shot on this one, but something happened.
Paul, what happened?
I shot my finger in the door of the truck right when we got out. It's pretty sore. I think it might be swollen or broken.
Yeah, Paul had said he had smashed his trigger finger in the truck door. I think that was his excuse.
Excuses. I'm full of excuses. I don't come up with excuses. I just tell him I missed.
I think he's got brown eyes. I think he may be full of it a little bit.
So his trigger finger wasn't working quite right. His fingers looked fine to me.
My finger is recovering, so it's not swollen anymore. So
We'll give him a pass since Jason did get one put down.
Oh, she's not very big. I mean, she's not small. She's not a pup, but she's not real big. But it's a she. Yep, female. That's a female. Good looking colors again.
Yeah, other than the rub on her shoulders.
Yeah. Well, she got a little short tail, doesn't she? Not a very big cow. What do you think? Let's see here. That's probably last year's.
Yeah.
That's last year's dog. I bet this is just now turning 2 this year. But we had a good setup.
Real good setup. Had the wind kind of crosswind towards us. We set the call about 50 yards, 60 yards down from us.
Yeah.
Upwind.
Hoping they would come around and just be right in front of us, which they weren't right in front of us, but I mean, it worked the way, you know, still similar to the way we wanted it. It was a good setup, but Paul here was set up with a shotgun, and he was going to try to take it with the shotgun, and
I'm glad you could transition.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't transition. He ended up getting over on her. She was at 74 yards from where I ranged her, a little bit out of my shotgun range.
you know, she was coming in on a very slow sneak, and when they do that, it can go either way. They can keep coming, or they can just turn and bolt really fast. So I was getting a little nervous, but we want them to come in as close as we can. We wanted you to get shotgun. We want more footage. The way she was looking at that call, I think she was a little hesitant, and if we can take her, we're going to take her.
Her down.
Her down. Goner.
Jason, what do we call that coyote?
Called a goner.
You know, as we're hunting in this spot where Jason and Paul are located, they're not too far from Whiteman's Air Force Base, and
Windsor is just south where they station the B-2 bombers. So it's pretty common up there to see the B-2 flying over.
it kind of gets me going back and thinking as I was hunting during that day that, you know, if it wasn't for guys like that I couldn't be out doing what I'm doing. I can't have the freedoms to go out and do what I enjoy and I love every single day.
I commend those guys for what they do. They don't get paid enough for what they do. They go out and protect my freedoms. For that, I hold them with the highest regard.
Those guys put their lives on the line so we can run around and with video cameras shooting coyotes and giving each other a lot of crap. And, you know, I think we all appreciate that.
Us at Songdog Mafia, we support our troops, you know, we honor them, and, you know, we just so appreciative. You know, they're our heroes. So if it wasn't for those guys, we couldn't do what we do.
What'd you forget this time?
Forgot to stay home. Should have stayed home.
Hey, I asked you if you wanted your vest.
Yep. Sure did.
What was in your vest that you needed?
My car keys to go home. My magazine for my rifle.
It'll be all right. We didn't call anything in anyways.
Did that intentionally so I wouldn't be embarrassed.
At least you didn't miss, right?
Right.